There are moments in our lives that arrive without announcement, without drama, without the thunder we expect from transformation. And today carries the imprint of such a moment, a decision made in an invisible realm where hearts communicate beyond words, where the energy between two souls shifts like the tide responding to a moon you cannot see but can only feel in the pull of your own chest. The angels have been watching this connection you hold so tenderly, this person who occupies the quiet spaces of your thoughts. And they want you to know that something has moved today, not necessarily in the external world where phones ring and doors open, but in the internal landscape where clarity begins to form like morning light, gradually illuminating a room you've been sitting in during darkness. This is not about dramatic declarations or sudden reversals, but about the slow, inevitable movement toward truth that happens when a soul reaches a crossroads and must choose between the familiar comfort of avoidance and the vulnerable honesty of acknowledgement. You may have felt it as a subtle shift in your own energy, a quiet knowing that something is different even if you cannot name it, a sense that the emotional atmosphere has changed in ways your logical mind struggles to capture, but your heart recognizes immediately. The angels speak of decisions made in moments of solitude, when a person sits alone with their thoughts and finally allows themselves to feel what they have been pushing away, when the walls built carefully around the heart begin to tremble not from force, but from persistent, gentle knocking of truth that will not be ignored forever. This message comes to you because you've been holding space, not desperately, not with clenched fists, but with the kind of grace that comes from a woman who knows her worth even while her heart remains open to possibility. Today marks a turning point in the energetic conversation between you and this person, a moment when what has been avoided must now be faced. When what has been left unsaid begins to press against the silence with increasing urgency, demanding recognition. The angels do not speak in guarantees or timelines, but they do speak in patterns and movement of energy. And what they reveal is that today has brought a moment of inner reckoning for someone whose thoughts have been circling back to you with greater frequency, whose quiet moments have been filled with your presence even when they have maintained distance in the physical world. This is the nature of spiritual timing. It does not align with our impatience or our plans, but it moves according to the readiness of souls to face themselves honestly. And something about today has created the conditions for such honesty to emerge from hiding. The silence between you and this person has not been empty. You have known this on some level, felt in the way certain thoughts arrive uninvited, in the way your attention gets pulled toward your phone or toward memories that surface without warning, in the dreams that feel too vivid to be merely random creations of a sleeping mind. Silence between two people who share a deep connection is never truly silent. It hums with all the unspoken words, all the emotions that have nowhere to go except to circulate endlessly in the space between hearts, creating a kind of pressure that builds until something must give way. The angels want you to understand that this silence has been serving a purpose, even though it has been painful, even though there have been nights when you questioned whether this connection meant anything real, or if you had imagined the depth of what you felt passing between you. Distance, whether physical or emotional, often becomes a crucible in which people finally confront what they truly feel. Proximity can allow avoidance, can permit casual denial, but absence demands that we face the outline of what is missing and recognize its shape. During this time of separation or reduced contact, something important has been happening beneath the surface. You've been returning to yourself, remembering the parts of you that exist independently of this connection, reconnecting with your own inner light that shines whether or not it is witnessed by another. And simultaneously, this person has been walking their own path through the maze of their emotions, their fears, their confusion about what they want and what they are ready to receive. The angels show a figure sitting in contemplation, replaying conversations and moments, feeling the absence of your energy in their daily life, noticing the difference between the hollow feeling of your absence and the superficial distractions they have tried to fill that space with. Today represents a culmination of this internal process. Not necessarily its completion, but a critical juncture where the weight of unsaid things has become impossible to carry with the same casual ease as before. You may have noticed subtle signs, a sudden memory surfacing, a song that connects to them appearing unexpectedly, a feeling of their energy drawing closer even without any external contact, or simply a shift in your own emotional state that cannot be explained by the circumstances of your immediate environment. These are not coincidences, but whispers of movement in the invisible threads that connect hearts across distance and silence. And the angels encourage you to trust these subtle knowings without attaching desperate narratives to them. What matters now is not whether this person will reach out today or tomorrow or next week, but whether you can hold yourself in a space of centered calm, recognizing that whatever unfolds will unfold in its right time, and that your peace does not depend on their actions, but on your connection to your own inner truth. There's a particular kind of heaviness that comes from carrying feelings that have no outlet, from loving someone in the privacy of your own heart while maintaining a massive casual indifference, from wanting to speak but choosing silence because the risk of vulnerability feels too great, or the timing never seems quite right. The angels reveal that this person has been carrying such a weight, has been living with the tension between what they feel and what they allow themselves to express, between the truth that whispers in their quiet moments and the fear that shouts when they imagine opening themselves to the possibility of rejection or hurt or the responsibility that comes with admitting they care deeply. This internal conflict has not been invisible to you. Even if you have not been able to articulate it clearly, you have felt the push and pull in their energy, the way they seem to draw close and then retreat, the confusing signals that speak of someone caught between desire and self-protection. Today has brought something to the surface in their internal world, a moment where the cost of not speaking has begun to outweigh the fear of speaking, where the ache of distance has started to exceed the comfort of emotional safety. The decision the angels speak of is not necessarily one that will manifest immediately in action. Sometimes the most significant decisions we make are internal shifts that precede visible changes by days or weeks, but is a decision nonetheless, a crossing of a threshold in consciousness where denial gives way to acknowledgement. You may wonder why you had to wait, why clarity could not have come sooner, why this person could not have simply been honest about their feelings instead of creating this painful ambiguity between you. The angels remind you that everyone moves at the pace their soul requires for growth, and sometimes a journey through confusion, and fear is necessary for someone to arrive at a place of genuine readiness rather than impulsive reaction. This is not about excusing behavior that has hurt you or minimizing the impact of their emotional unavailability, but about understanding the human complexity of fear and the ways we all protect ourselves from the very things we most desire. What has changed today is that the internal scales have tipped. The desire for connection, for honesty, for resolution has grown stronger than the habitual patterns of avoidance. And this shift is beginning a movement that you will eventually see reflected in the external world. But here's what the angels want you to hear most clearly. Regardless of what this person decides or when they choose to act on a decision, your own path forward is not dependent on their choices. You have been growing during this time of uncertainty, developing strength you did not know you had, learning to source your happiness from within rather than waiting for external circumstances to grant you permission to feel whole. From the angelic perspective, what looks like an ending or a painful standstill from the human vantage point is often a necessary pause before a deepening, a moment when souls must separate briefly in order to return to themselves and remember who they are outside of the entanglement of another's energy. The angels do not see this connection between you and this person as a simple romantic situation with predictable outcome, but as a sacred encounter between two souls who have something important to teach each other, even if that teaching comes through the difficult curriculum of longing and waiting and self-discovery. What they show is not a guaranteed reunion or a promised happy ending, but a recognition that real love, not the fantasy version sold in movies, but the transformative kind that changes us, requires both people to arrive at a place of inner wholeness before they can truly offer themselves to each other without falling into patterns of dependency or projection, or using the other person to fill voids that only self-love can address. This person's decision, the one that has been forming today in their consciousness, relates to a recognition they are beginning to have about their own patterns, their own fears, their own readiness or lack thereof to show up authentically in connection. The angels celebrate every movement towards self-awareness, even when that movement is slow and painful, because consciousness is what ultimately frees us from repeating the same cycles that have hurt us and others in the past. For you, the invitation now is not to wait in suspended animation for this person to figure themselves out, but to continue your own journey of self-reclamation with even greater dedication than before. The angels ask, what parts of yourself have you been neglecting while your attention has been focused on this connection? What dreams have been sitting quietly in the corner of your heart, waiting for you to remember them? What would it mean to live fully in your present moment instead of in the anticipation of a future where this person finally comes correct? These questions are not meant to suggest you should abandon hope or close your heart, but to remind you that your life is happening now, not in some hypothetical future, when all the pieces fall into place. When you honor yourself completely. When you refuse to diminish your light while waiting for someone else to be ready to stand in it. When you create a life so rich and full that you genuinely feel at peace whether or not this connection manifests in the way you hope. You become magnetic in a way that has nothing to do with manipulation or strategy and everything to do with the authentic power of a woman who knows her worth. This is what the angels want for you more than any specific outcome with any specific person. They want you to remember that you are not half of something waiting to become whole through union with another, but a complete being whose capacity for love is a gift you get to offer rather than a need you must have filled. So here you are, at this juncture where today has brought movement in the invisible realm, where a decision has been made that will ripple outward in ways you may or may not see immediately. And the question before you is not what will happen next with this person, but what you will choose for yourself in this moment and all the moments that follow. The sacred return to yourself is not a one-time event, but a practice, a continual choosing of your own peace over the drama of uncertainty, your own growth over the stagnation of waiting, your own joy over the melancholy comfort of longing for what is not here. The angels encourage you to feel everything you feel, the hope, the frustration, the love, the anger, all of it, without making any of these feelings mean something is wrong with you or that you should be further along in your healing than you are. Emotions are not obstacles to your spiritual development, but the very texture of your human experience. And allowing yourself to be fully present with what you feel without judgment or rush to transcend it is itself a form of profound self-love. As you move forward from this day, carry with you the knowing that you are held by forces larger than the small story of this particular connection, that your life has purpose and meaning that extends far beyond whether one person can rise to meet you where you are, that you are worthy of love that does not require you to shrink or wait or wonder if you matter. The decision that has been made today by this person will unfold in its own time, and you may see evidence of it soon, or it may remain in the realm of subtle energy shifts for a while longer. This is not for you to control or force. What is for you to control is how you spend your precious days, whether you allow yourself to be fully alive even in the midst of unanswered questions, whether you can hold space for possibility without collapsing into it with your entire sense of self. Perhaps tonight before you sleep, you might place a hand on your own heart and speak to yourself with the tenderness you would offer a beloved friend, acknowledging the courage it takes to love deeply even when that love is not yet met with clarity from the other person, honoring the strength you have shown in maintaining your dignity even while your heart has been tender. And as you do this, you might notice a warmth spreading through your chest, a sense of being accompanied by presences you cannot see, but can feel, your angels, your guides, the part of your own soul that has never forgotten your worth even when your human mind has doubted it. This is not the end of the story between you and this person, nor is it the end of your story regardless of how that connection unfolds. But it is a chapter where the most important thing happening is not what occurs between you and them, but what occurs between you and yourself. The sacred reunion with your own inner knowing, your own beauty, your own irreplaceable light. The angels whisper that there is more unfolding, more being revealed. And as you close your eyes tonight and drift towards sleep, you might feel them near, ready to show you in dreams and in waking moments what comes next. If this message touched something within you, let it settle in your heart without words. You need not do anything except breathe and allow the knowing to find its home in you. When you're ready, there will be more to discover, more layers to gently unfold, more truth waiting to be revealed in the quiet spaces between one breath and the next.